In part 2 of the 19-pound survival pot challenge, I show you how easy it is to grow radishes from seed in small pots and how quickly you can get food from a tiny space. If you're only getting a small balcony, patio, small garden or even a windowsill, radishes are one of the best vegetables to start with. The seeds are larger than others, they germinate fast and you can harvest in just a few weeks. In this video, I'm showing you planting radishes from seeds in containers, the growing updates from small pots and baskets, real harvest examples from previous grows in baskets, and how you use both the radish roots and the leaves. Why radishes are one of the best vegetables for beginners. If you missed part 1 of the 19-pound survival pot, go and check it out. It's the first video I did where I built just the container and the soil and got these going. You can get soil, seeds and 3 pots for about £19, just under, so it's a great place to start. Radishes are quick, productive and perfect for anyone starting their container gardening journey. Have you ever wondered how quickly you can grow real food in a tiny pot? In the first video of the 19-pound survival pot challenge, I built a small container garden to see if we could grow a full salad bowl for under £20. Radish is a staple and we're starting with that first. We can grow multiple times, but today we're looking at one of the fastest crops you can grow anywhere. That's radishes. If you haven't tried them before, it's worth a try. They grow fast, they don't need much space, and you can harvest them in just a few weeks. In the video, I'm showing you a breakdown of how to grow radishes from seed in a pot, real growth updates from the survival container, some of my previous harvests so you can know what to expect, and a bonus at the end of the video showing how you can actually use both the roots and the leaves in like a meal. If you've only got a small garden, balcony, patio, or even a few pots, this might be the one for you to grow. Let's get started. If you watched the first video, you'll remember the idea behind the 19-pound survival pot. The goal was simple: use containers in a small garden space on a wall for as cheap as possible. We used good soil, we used cheap seeds, and we got 3 containers, all basically under £19. Radishes are perfect for this challenge because they are cheap to grow, quick to harvest, and they don't have a need for deep soil. You can grow them in small pots, baskets, containers, raised beds, even some old containers like margarine tubs and things if you don't have much space at all. One of the reasons I always recommend radishes to beginners is how simple they are to grow. First, the seeds are bigger than most vegetable seeds, which makes them easier to handle and plant. Secondly, they germinate quickly. Sometimes you'll see seedlings pop up just in a few days, like you see in my examples. And third, they grow incredibly fast compared to other things growing in the garden. Multiple varieties are ready in like 3 or 4 weeks. That's basically 1 month. It gives you great results for new gardeners to keep you encouraged, and you can get the kids involved. Any other big bonuses? I think they're great because you can eat the whole plant, the root and the leaves. They're a bit peppery, they give you a good kick. We start by planting the seeds. For radishes, you don't need a huge container. A pot of about 15 to 20 centimeters deep is more than enough. Specifically the ones I use, the long troughs, and they work very well. Fill your container with a good multi-purpose compost, leaving a little space at the top. Radish seeds can be placed about 1 to 2 centimeters deep, so just poke your finger in. You don't have to be too precise with this, they're quite forgiving, just don't go too deep. You can either plant from individual spaced apart, you can sprinkle them on the container, you don't have to get too scientific with this. And in small containers, I usually plant them a few centimeters apart so each one has room to grow. Then cover them lightly with a bit of dusting of compost, give them a gentle watering, and that's it. Radishes are one of those crops that give you quick motivation. Within just a few days, you'll usually see the seedlings appear. At first, they'll produce their small rounded seed leaves, then the true leaves will follow. At this stage, they grow very quickly. The key things they need are moist soil, keep watering them, sunlight and a bit of space in the container. They are good, they don't get too crowded, the roots won't develop properly if they get crowded, so keep that in mind. Now let's take a look at radishes growing in the 19-pound survival pot. At this stage you can see the leaves developing nicely. The plants are healthy and growing well in their small container. This is the great thing about radishes, they don't need a large garden. Even a small pot can produce a decent harvest. As they grow, the root starts forming just under the soil surface, and after a few weeks you'll notice often the top of the radishes pushing out of the soil. This usually is a good sign they're getting close to harvest time. To give you a better idea of what to expect, I had some clips in this video today to show you some of the options from my baskets, which are free baskets you can use, and simple pots. Even in small spaces you can grow a surprising amount. Radishes grow quickly enough that you can sow multiple batches through the season. This is called succession sowing. Instead of planting all your seeds at once, plant a few every 2 weeks and you'll get a regular harvest instead of like everything at once. And once you get a taste of these, you'll see what I'm talking about here. They've got a nice little kick to them. Think of carrots but a bit more tangy. Radishes, it's simple. You basically hold the root and pull them out. It's like a little golf ball sized fun bite, but gently pull them from the soil, and if you leave them too long they become a little bit too spicy and a bit too hard and tough, so don't try and leave them for too longer than 3 to 4 weeks is the key point. And it's best to harvest them while they're young and tender. Fresh radishes have a really nice flavour. They're peppery, crisp and refreshing, almost like cross between pepper and a fresh carrot. So here's something a lot of people don't realise: you don't just eat the root, you can also eat radish leaves. The leaves have a slightly peppery flavour, think of rocket kind of arena, and work really well in salads, stir fries, soups, or even you can put them in curries like as a bit of a dressing. Using the whole plant means less waste and more food from the same pot, which is perfect for small container gardening. I know how hard it can be to get enough from a small garden to give you something worthwhile. If you're starting a small container garden, radishes are honestly one of the best vegetables to begin with. They do grow fast, easy to plant, productive in small spaces, and you can harvest them in just a few weeks. Plus, you can grow them almost anywhere. Balconies, patios, small gardens, even windowsill pots. And because the seeds are cheap, you can sow lots of them throughout the season. The soil after a few weeks does become waterlogged, so my next video I'm going to be talking about some homemade fertilizer that you can use to feed the plants and the moist soil to help you keep the soil going for longer. Quick to grow, easy to plant, and the perfect because I want to grow more things in here. So salads, lettuces, what other seeds can we grow in this? I had a little visit to the shop and looked at some seeds, so stay tuned for the next video in this series of the small pot survival challenge. Can we get a full bowl of salad from a small 19 pounds setup? If you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing and following along this journey. And if you're growing radishes this year, let me know how they're doing in your comments down below. I'd love to know where you are in the world and how they're doing for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one on screen now.